Hi, everybody. Mike Handcock here, Chairman of the Circle of Excellence Group. And today I'm going to be giving you all a formula for a 5-minute webinar. This is actually a repeat of something I did 5.5 years ago on this process that we have called Global Intelligence Updates. Actually, probably not long after we started them, because we started them about 6 and a bit years ago. And people got some extraordinary results from this. So the concept behind this is to give you, I'm going to give you 36 questions. You're going to write down Q1 and then the answer to your question, okay? Q2 and then the answer to your question. Try and write neatly, because at the end, we're going to use AI to fix all this, right? So I'm going to give you a document that I want you to load to AI. You can copy and paste it in if you want, or just load it. And I'll give you your prompt to AI at that stage as to what to do with that. And the basis of your answers and that prompt is going to give you a webinar script that lasts for 5 minutes. Now, this could be a longer form video sales letter that sits on your website. So you could literally have this as the video sales letter on your website. You could have this as a webinar that you run live. You could have this as something that you do once in a blue moon and say to people, hey, I'm going live. We're going to do 5 minutes, right now. And you can put it out on LinkedIn or Facebook and, get 4 or 5 people to come on the thing and just do it and get some traction. So you can utilize this in many, many different spaces, and it will become obvious to you when you see the answer. Now, I'm going to go through the questions. I'm going to try and take about 30 seconds on each question, so that way we have lots of time for you to actually upload, use the prompt, and also for us to get feedback here. If you happen to miss out here, I will load the recording later today. I have to go out for a few hours straight after this, but I will load this later today. It will be in the Circle of Excellence Private Members Club online. Just go there, click on events, go to past events, and hit watch the recording, and it'll be there, and you can do it. And if you feel you haven't given your answers a good enough thing, then use this as the tester, and then go back and redo it once you've thought through your answers. But often I think that the best answers come up when we're not trying to pre-program too much. Okay, so is everybody ready? Yay. Okay, cool. So I will share the screen, because that's the best way to go through this, so you can see the questions as well. There it is. There's always one late one coming into the meeting. Now I'm going to have to explain all that again. Stop sharing for a minute. Okay, so quickly sharing again, just to get that. You need pen and paper. You're going to need to write down Q1 and then the answer, Q2 and then your answer, etc., as we jump through this. And we're going to be going reasonably fast, and the rest of your instructions will come later on. Okay. Right. Okay, so let's go with the first question. Hopefully, all of you should be able to answer this. If you can't answer this first question, you immediately fail and will be sent to Monopoly jail, okay? What is your name? So Q1, what is your name? Write it down. Whilst you're doing that and you're thinking about what your name is, I'm just going to put on my timer here, because this one is obviously a very easy question. You've got that now. Question 2, what is the name of your company, or what is the one thing that you're the proud creator of? So that means I would write down Circle of Excellence, but you might write down that you're the creator of the high-end offer design process or something like that, okay? Remember to write Q2 next to that, and then at the start of it, now you're going to write Q3. How many years have you been doing the transformative work that you do now? Okay. So you might want to write down 3 years, 5 years, whatever. Okay. Don't think that your answer when we get to the end of this is going to be 100% perfect. You are going to need to actually, you're going to need to go through and spruce this up a little bit. Now, for the latecomers that have come into the meeting, you need a pen, you need a piece of paper, and you need to answer these questions. Firstly, number one, Q1, what is your name? Write down Q1 and what is your name. Q2, what is the name of your company, or what is the one thing that you are the proud creator of? Q3, how many years have you been doing the transformative work that you do? I'm not going to go to the chat and get too sidetracked by the chat at the moment. If you really need me, put up your hand and I'll probably see that, okay? Q4, who are your ideal clients, i.e., people who want to get more money? My ideal clients are people who want to get more money. My ideal clients are people who want to all of their teams to get better. My number one is my ideal clients are people who want to travel for the rest of their life. Yes, Fred, you can unmute and ask me the question.
Thanks, Mike. I'm just wondering if it's okay to answer in French in the document, or is it better to answer in English for the...
Great question. Probably better in English. Although you could just change your prompt on AI and say, my responses are in French. Please give me the whole thing in French, or you could do that.
Thanks.
Okay. So who are your ideal clients? I.e., maybe your ideal clients are people who are currently overweight, people who are currently not resilient, and people who want to create more purpose in their lives. That could be that sort of thing. Okay, Q5. Remember, you should be writing Q5 and then your answer. What problem do you solve for them? So, i.e., I give them more money for their retirement. I help them find their purpose. I help them lose 10 pounds in the next 3 weeks. I help them become better employees. I help them understand how they're going to integrate with the company culture more, whatever it is for you. In the white space, I'm just going to be talking because it sounds weird if you're listening to nothing, but I'm going to be giving you around about 30 seconds. This is Q5. Some of these I obviously forgot put the Q on. Okay, I think we're good. Q6. What are they able to have or do once their problem is solved? So if we go back to Q5, I want to give them more money for their retirement so they can. Okay. So what are they able to have or do once that problem is solved? Are they going to have more freedom? Are they going to have more purpose? Are they going to have chocolates falling out of the sky on their head every day? Are they going to have a series of baby hamsters in their backyard? Okay. I can ad lib all day. It's fine here. So they can become the best versions of themselves. So they can feel comfortable in their own body again. Whatever it is, pop it down. Okay. Q7. What is the name of your strategy call? So, for instance, mine is actually called strategy call. So if I have a strategy call with a new potential client, I always just say it's a strategy call. Yours might be the discovery call, the opening of the mind session, the bankable bullet point session, What is the name of your strategy call? That shouldn't be too hard. So let's go on to Q8. What result will somebody be able to achieve when they work with you? I.e., they will be able to improve their bottom line by between 10 and 20%. They will be able to run along the beach with their dog and kid more easily. They will be able to focus on their family, knowing that their finances are in order. They will be able to leap from tall buildings and fly through the sky. So what result will someone be able to achieve when they work with you? Some of these questions you'll be thinking of for the very first time. So I appreciate that. That's why I think you've just got to get down the best answer that you can in the moment. Don't judge it, just get it down. Question 9. What result does your ideal client want? So in other words, they would love to have an extra 5 hours in the day. They would love to take 12 weeks off a year. They would love to have enough money to buy a boat. They would love to get the job they always wanted. They would love to score A-list clients. They would love to have their staff that absolutely love and adore them. You know, that's the types of answers that we're looking for. What result does your ideal client want? Number 10. What is the one thing that your ideal client does that costs them significant time and energy that isn't getting them the results they want? Okay. It's a little bit of a tricky question in that there's so much in it. So stick to one thing. What's the one thing your ideal client does that costs them a lot of time and energy that just isn't getting them the results they want? They put off things. They spend too much time researching and not enough time implementing. They are not making the sales calls. They are not communicating with their key staff. They are eating all the wrong foods. They are not focusing on doing the right things during business hours. They are too distracted by social media. So what's the one thing your ideal client does that costs them significant time and energy and isn't getting them the results they want? Question 11. What's the one thing that your ideal client does that frustrates and blocks them? So this is it's a fine tune on the previous question. What's the one thing that they do that frustrates them and blocks them? So I get frustrated by getting bogged down in things that are not fun. I get frustrated by having to give people the same answer 3 times. I get frustrated by AI that doesn't get to the point, right? I get frustrated by having to go back and look into the history of something because I can't remember it, or I don't have a good enough filing system. What is the one thing that your ideal client does that frustrates and blocks them? Okay. So maybe they're super aggressive, I don't know, and that just turns people away. Number 12. Mind you probably don't want to put that in your webinar. What is the one thing that your ideal client does that costs them significant money without delivering results? They spend too much on apps that they don't use or software that they don't use. They have a virtual assistant but don't delegate. They have a sales team that's not trained properly. They have key people reporting into them that don't understand their value systems. So there would be a few examples of that. They think that buying supplements at the supermarket is going to give them real health. What's the one thing that your ideal client does that costs them significant money without delivering results? Question 13. We are now a third of the way through. In relation to the struggle you went through to get where you are today, when did this experience happen? So what was your triggering experience that leveraged you into what you're doing today? So for me, my triggering experience is when I got out of corporate 24 years ago. Okay. What is your, in relation to your struggle that you went through to get where you are, when did the experience that triggered that happen? Okay. Question 14. What were you trying to accomplish? So at the time that I left corporate, I was trying to accomplish a life of financial freedom where I could do what I wanted. So what were you trying to accomplish when you started to head into the area that you wanted to head into? Maybe you wanted to leave an indelible mark on the world. Maybe you wanted to give back for all the people that had given to you. Maybe you wanted to use the skills that you got somewhere else to do something really profound and unique. So what were you trying to accomplish? Okay. Question 15. Remember, put before these Q14, Q12, etc., etc. So now you should be writing Q15. What struggle did you face? So for me, I was struggling to get people interested in what I was doing. I was struggling to understand how to do this alone. I was struggling to define exactly what it was I wanted to do. What were you struggling with? Were you struggling to build a brand? Were you struggling to understand what you do at a height that other people would pay you big money for it? Were you struggling to get clients who would pay you real money? What were you struggling with? Question 16. What disappointing result did you get? So I was disappointed that it didn't move fast enough. I was disappointed that I knew I was underpricing but couldn't bring myself to charge more. I was disappointed that people loved it, but they didn't refer me. So what were you disappointed with? Were you disappointed that you didn't get the results you expected? Were you disappointed that you got complaints? Were you disappointed that the system that you thought you'd built didn't work? Were you disappointed that you couldn't work out how to put all the components together and to manage this business? Were you disappointed that you found you took, 5 times more time in administration than actually seeing clients? Or were you disappointed that the business you thought you'd have was not the business you ended up with? Question 17. How did this make you feel? I felt insignificant. I felt exhausted. I felt frustrated. What did you feel? Not being able to get what you wanted when you started. Question 18. What did you decide to do as a result of your struggles with that problem? I decided to leverage through other people's networks. I decided to go international, where they paid bigger money. I decided to focus on my brand and my brand collaterals. I decided to get known within my industry. So what did you decide to do as a result of your struggles with the problem? Should have a Q18 in front of it. I decided to buy a box of beer and go and get smashed by the ocean. Okay. I didn't do that, but some of you may have. Okay. Q19. What action did you take? So you've decided to do something. What action did you actually take? I got strategic partners. That's the action I took. I got on a stage overseas that led to other stages. That's an action. What action did you take? Okay. The beach is looking nice today. 2 people walking along, 4 surfers, and a guy sitting in the bushes. We're not going there. Okay, question 20, Q20. What did you discover? I discovered that if I had the right people around me, anything was possible. I discovered that if I hung out in various groups that I was taken seriously. I discovered that once I'd done my first international keynote and got paid more money than I earned in 3 weeks in my corporate job, that I could do this. What did you discover? Okay, Q21. What did you do with your new knowledge? So with this knowledge, so I talked about strategic partners. So with this knowledge, I secured those strategic partners and looked for others. With this knowledge, you may have built a website and driven traffic to it via Facebook ads. With this knowledge, you may have run a business showcase or done a series of webinars or focused on building a referral system that worked. With this knowledge, you may have discovered a new way to help teams become more aligned. Q22. What positive result did you then get? I was so happy because things became sustainable and not so much up and down. I was so happy because I felt I had partners and wasn't alone anymore. I was so happy because my brand was growing, and in some ways it started growing faster than I could ever believe. Although at the time it seemed normal. I was so happy because I was consistently working overseas and was at that stage the only New Zealand speaker to be doing so. That's what I was happy about. What were you happy about? What positive result did you then get? Question 23. What does your program show people how to do, or your product? I'm calling it a program, a service, a product. What does your program, service, product show people how to do? It shows them how to, Bill James is on the call, it shows them how to sell even though they don't like selling, right? It shows them how to lose 10 kilos in the next 3 weeks without taking a Zempic, right? It shows them how to systemize their business and save time. It shows them how to increase the value of what they're doing overall. So what does your program show people how to do? We are now at Q24, which is 2/3 of the way through the questions. Q24 says, what is the first step in your program for your client? So the first step for me is to have a 1-to-1 2-hour strategy call. Okay. The first step is to have a briefing meeting if it's a corporate. The first step is to go to contract. The first step is to start using the app. The first step is to do a diet plan. The first step is to design the new version of your website. So what's their first step in your program? Next, Q25. What's the second step in your program? So the second step may be to run a workshop. The second step may be to do some deeper research so that you understand more about the client and their situation. The second step might be to spend some one-on-one time brainstorming this. The second step might be to run a focus group on their existing problem. The second step might be to measure all parts of your body so that you know how much weight and stuff you're going to lose and how much, midriff you're going to lose, etc., etc. The second step might be to start to interview some other people to get perspective on that client's problem. Okay, number 26, Q26. What's the third step? By the way, if you don't have 3 steps, then you might want to think through this a little bit because there's lots of things. So third step might be to get them started on the workbooks, might be to open the online program for them, might be to put them in a mastermind, might be to have a one-on-one going through the work they've done so far, might be for a keynoter, might be to do a debriefing meeting after the keynote. So what's the third step in your program for your client? We are on the home stretch, folks. Q27. What result will you teach people how to get in this webinar? Remember, we're doing a 5-minute webinar. I will show them the 3 keys and try and stick to 3. 7's never going to work in 5 minutes, so 3 is a good number. I will show them the 3 keys to living a better life. I will show them the 3 keys to why they should book me rather than any other speaker on the planet on leadership. I will show them the 3 keys to understanding how to sell more to their existing clients. I will show them the 3 keys to freeing up 10 hours a week, etc. So what are you going to teach people to get in the webinar? So I will show them 3 keys to lose 10 kilograms in the next month without taking Ozempic. Okay. Q28. What fantastic result will they be able to accomplish after using your product, service, program? What would it feel like to lose 10 kgs in a month? What would it feel like to finally have all of your staff wanting to get involved in every project? What would it feel like to have an extra 10 hours a week to dedicate to new things you want to do or to your family? What would it feel like to have an extra $1,000 a month in your bank account? What would it feel like to have the peace of mind that your business is running without you? So what fantastic result will they be able to accomplish after using your product? Q29 coming right up. It's like bingo, right? So what result will your ideal client get from the secret you will share in your webinar? I know by now you're going, Mike, some of these questions are so similar. There's a reason for that. Okay. So what result will your ideal client get from the secret you will share in the webinar? I will share a secret that helps them deliver more impact from their team meetings. I will share a secret that helps them feel better about their appearance in public situations. I will share a secret that helps them to improve their ability to speak in public. I will share a secret that helps them to free up capital to invest in new projects. I will share a secret that helps them to understand where they're wasting time in their business. What result will your ideal client get from the secret you'll share in the webinar? Q30. What result will your ideal client get from following the 3 steps you promise to deliver in your webinar? So they will know the 3 steps to having a better life. They will know the 3 steps to losing weight. They will know the 3 steps to building a cohesive team. They will know the 3 steps to living life with purpose. They will know the 3 steps to being joyful. They will know the 3 steps to how to move from A to B seamlessly. Okay. What result will your ideal client get from following the 3 steps you promised to deliver in this webinar? Next, what is the first name of someone who's already had great results from you or your program? That should be easy, right? If you can't think of that, you've got a problem, right? So what is the first name of someone who has had great results with you and your program? Q32. What did they do to get this great result? i.e., they did everything that I suggested to them. They followed the program step by step. They focused on the key area of this or that. What did they do to get a great result? Q33. What was the great result that they experienced? They told me that they'd increased their business by 25%. They told me that they had 12% more profitability. They told me that every person in their business unit got a bonus that quarter. They told me that they took 7 kilograms off in the first month. They told me that their meetings with their potential customers were now seamless. They told me that they increased their close rate by 25%. What was the great result that they experienced? What did Bob, Mary, Sue, Bill, Celise, what did they experience? Q34. Yes, Karen.
I just want to ask a question on these sort of last two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with my business, I'm starting a whole new thing. So, I'm essentially a startup here. So, I don't have any results yet on that side of the business. From a legal perspective, yes, but not from DDR.
So I would say to you, Karen, and this might be the same for others, that you're not going, nobody starts a business they don't have any experience in. I'm not going to start an airport today, right? Actually, I've probably got a lot of experience in airports. But so it's what you learnt through law and seeing people's disputes and what you know that solved them. And it could be, you could use a generic example. You could use an example that's from a case study that you read about or from what somebody else did. You could use an example from your life. So, what did they do to get a great result? Uh, it could be that instead of spending a fortune and throwing their ego at the opposition, they decided to mediate instead. Okay. Then what was the great result that they experienced? They saved a lot of money and resolved most of their problems.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's go to Q34. Okay. So Q34, just 3 questions left, I think. What is the one thing someone will finally understand when they have the call with you? So they come off the webinar and they're going to jump on a call with you. So they'll finally understand. So if this was me, I would say that they will finally understand that they've been spending a lot of time wasting years working on the wrong stuff. That's what they will finally understand when they get off a call with me. They'll finally understand that they don't know half of what they should know to be running the business that they've got. They'll finally understand that they've been too scared to ask for help, and it's the single biggest thing that's held them back. So, what's the one thing somebody will finally understand when they have a call with you? Q35. What tools will someone get when they have the call with you? So they will have tools on a call with me. You will have tools that will give you a 2026 perspective of business. They will have tools that will give them a global view of business. They will have tools that will give them shortcuts to fixing things that have been annoying for them. Okay. So, what tools will somebody get when they have a call with you? Q36. And you probably only need one tool here. You don't need to pad this out with two. You'll have to fine tune this once you go through the process. What will someone be empowered to do when they have the call with you? So when somebody has a call with me, they finally feel empowered to make good judgment calls in their business. They finally feel empowered to get rid of things that they've been wasting time on. They finally feel empowered to cut some unnecessary costs. They finally feel empowered to just get out there and do it rather than trying to perfect it before they go out there and do it. So for you, what will someone be empowered to do when they have the call with you? Okay. that is it, my friends. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you two things. So you'll just have to give me a minute because, I can't multitask really that well. Did you find that interesting, by the way?
Yeah,
Got a
very
thumbs
much.
up. Yeah, got a very much. Okay, good.
Mike, I can't get over just how timely this conversation is actually from. I really am quite talk about being in alignment. The timing of us doing this is just ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
great.
right. That's very good.
Mike, can you please repeat the three questions, the three first questions?
The first three questions.
Yeah.
Yep, I can. I'm just going to give me a chance to fix this. Okay, first three questions were, what is your name was question number one. Number two, what is the name of your company or the thing that you're the creator of? So for you, it could be the 10 commandments of sales or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Number three, how many years have you been doing this?
Amazing.
Okay. So what I'm going to send you now is I'm going to send you, it's a PDF called the 5-minute webinar structure. Okay. And then I'm going to actually type in a prompt for you because I didn't do a prompt beforehand. I think it'll work without the prompt. But what I need you to do in the meantime, whilst you're doing this, is if you've been writing down, just take photos of what you've written down. And you're going to load those photos along with this up to your AI. Okay. So I'll send you this so you've got it now. And by the way, if you can also open this and take a photo of this if you want to do it all on your phone as well. And I'll just give you the prompt. Hang on a sec. You now have a prompt in the chat. And whilst you're doing that, I just want to give you one other thing as well. Okay. Just had to find this. So you can actually go ahead and do this now. So also, and you might want to download this in the chat now. You have the 5-minute webinar solution. That's the first thing I put in the chat up the top. Then after that, you have the prompt, which I want you to give AI. So I want you to give AI the top document, okay, which is called the 5-minute webinar, I think called presentation or something. I can't see it there. It's the 47 kilobyte one. And then you've got the prompt, add that and add your answers. Okay, so photograph your answers and put them in, and then just let AI do the rest. And the last thing I put in there, which is the 210 kilobyte thing, is the 5-minute webinar presentation. So that's just a copy of the slides and all of the questions in case you want to think this through later on and go through it a little bit later on. Libby, I saw your hand up earlier. Did you have a question?
Sorry, Mark, I had to rejoin. Do you mind popping those prompts back into the chat?
Yeah, they're all there.
No.
They're all in the chat.
No, I lost
You not see
connection,
them?
so
Oh,
I've
okay.
only got I missed them because I had to reconnect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm going to send them just to you so I don't confuse everyone else.
Thank you. Apologies for that.
No, no problem. Happens. And the rest of you should be working away. And then we're going to have a few minutes at the end to see what people have come up with.
Mark, have you sent them to me in the chat? I don't see them yet.
No, I'm not that quick. They're in different parts of my laptop. Plus, I've got to go between chats.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. You've got the two documents. The structured document is the prompt, so that should be with you in a second. Now I'll just go back to the main chat and copy your prompt in here. There we go. Okay, you've got it all.
Thank you.
So whilst I'm watching you, I was at an event in January where people were talking about people's online faces. And it's hilarious for me watching you. It's like your resting online face tells me a lot about you. So you can't hide, Claire. You're like this. Right? It's Agnes. Agnes is like this. Bill's was leaning into his laptop going like, I can't quite see this, but I will. I'll make it work somehow. Shazar's a normal, cool self. Some of you have just got your cameras off, so I can't pick on you, but that's fine. Do we have anyone with a result yet? Claire has a result, do you? Claire, would you like to share your result with us?
Okay, let me just open the PDF. Okay, HX 5 minutes webinar. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, let's just you can have a scan and tell me what you think if you want, or let's just dig into it a little bit. We don't probably have 5 minutes to go through the whole thing, but maybe just give me an overview on it. How do you feel once you read it? And anybody else, just put your hand up if you've read yours, and how do you feel about the result?
Okay, so I can read the hook and the alignment.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Hi, I'm Claire, HX co-creator and the creator of Elevated Experience and Hive Experience. Over the last 16 years, I've been doing the transformative work of helping small businesses, large organizations in creating safe spaces, places of belonging, feeling seen and heard so they are able to have a more fulfilled team, a bigger, sorry, it's It doesn't read right, but so they can feel seen, heard, and part of a tribe, a feeling of belonging. But if you're like most of the ideal clients I work with, you're probably incredibly frustrated right now. You are likely to be spending a significant amount of time and energy on too many technology individuals. They have too many plates to spin. They are not good with technology, so they're doing anything but using technology. So they don't know where to start, which simply isn't getting them any result. On top of that, you may find yourself doing technology too complicated, so you stop using them completely. You're spending money on advertising which doesn't connect with your customers and your target, costing you a significant amount of time and money without actually delivering any promise.
Okay, stop right there. So I get that that needs to be cleaned up a bit, but
Yeah.
that is a really, really good start for a webinar, because that's going to speak to the exact type of people that you want to speak to, right? And
Yeah.
it's shoving their problems straight, foie gras-ing them with their problems, like stuffing it down, which is really good. Okay. Anyone else completed the exercise? Or is Claire just top of the class? Yes, Karen. You're on mute.
There we go. Okay, so I'm just starting a little bit down. You're likely spending a significant amount of time and energy putting out fires, managing interpersonal conflict, and dealing with recurring people problems that never truly disappear, which simply isn't getting you the results you want. On top of that, you may find yourself avoiding difficult conversations until problems become crisis, which only creates greater frustration and burnout. Worst of all, you've probably spent money on disciplinary processes, litigation, staff replacement, and consultants without ever addressing the real cause of the conflict. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. So, and what I'm hearing here when I listen to this, right, is the tone of yours and the tone of Claire's is quite different. So, what you can do after you've done this, you can ask AI to clean it up, right? And then you can ask AI to give it a certain tone. Do you want to be friendly? Do you want to be engaging? Do you want to be assertive? What do you want in this? And then, quite literally, you just need some slides. And then you can record this as a webinar. You can record this as a video sales letter and have it literally on your website, or you can run it whenever you want to. It can be a 24/7 thing that just sits on your website. You like it, Yaniv? I see. You said amazing in the chat. What did you get out of it?
Well, I've been doing this for 26 years now, and I learn so much from you each meeting. And I have some questions that I think I thought about it for the first time. So I need to practice a little bit. I will prepare the document. I will send it to you. And I think, how can I use it after I have the 5-minute speech in my website, maybe in my social media, maybe a pitch to companies. You know, sometimes you meet with people, so you can use it as a script, as a sales script. So it's amazing. It's helpful in so many ways. So thank you.
Yeah, it's quite multi-purpose, really. And one of the things that I think, and we've only got 3 minutes left, but one of the things I think in doing this is, even if you don't use it as a webinar, simply answering these questions gets you really clear and shows you where the gaps in your own pitches are, right? It shows you that you haven't thought about what it really means for somebody. It shows you that you haven't thought of the first 3 steps or how to explain them to somebody. It shows you that you haven't thought of what person's going to emotionally feel, which is the most important thing in sales, once they buy something from you. Okay. Any other final comments?
I can share that I use many of those insights during sales conversations, or business meetings already, beside the 5 minutes. So I think the preparation of this document is important for us to understand, to identify exactly what we do and who are we doing this for, and we can use it on a daily basis, not just on the 5 minutes script.
Yeah, perfect. I'm just giggling because at the same time I was listening to you, I saw Andrea's post come up, which says, I think mine's gone out for those drinks Mike was talking about, because it's still building. Okay, anyone else? Final things? I'm going to ask James. James, how's your experience? Oh, it just says brilliant experience. Okay, great. Thanks. Angie, I'm waiting on ChatGPT. You might wait a little bit. But now that you have this, make sure before we jump off this call that you download the assets, okay? So download the prompt. You might even want to fix the prompt up a little bit. Download the webinar document just by putting your mouse on it and clicking on the down arrow next to it and grabbing it, and download the 5-minute webinar presentation, which has the 36 questions. And just like this took literally 45 minutes, but it's going to take a lot less with you doing it yourself and fixing things up. And just do this. I think this is a tremendous asset for your business and a tremendous gift that I can give you as well in terms of this. Yep.
Mine's just done it, Mike.
You've done it. You've done it.
Yep.
You've got 1 minute to tell us if you like it.
I love it.
Okay, great.
I love it. Yep. I love how it's broken it down into 5 sections. So section 1 being the hook and the alignment, section 2, the origin story and breakthrough, the 3-step framework, which is so funny because that's what we've built, proof of future pacing, and the call to action. Brilliant.
Yeah, good. I see,
brilliant,
Agnes,
bloody brilliant.
ChatGPT cannot read your scan notes. Did you used to be a doctor in a past life? Did you? Nobody can read what you've written. But you might want to, I did say try and write clearly, but you might want to go back and just take the photos of the notes bit by bit so they're clearer for them. I think they will be able to read it. I mean, try a different AI, right? Not every AI is good at reading photos, but I was blown away because this is where I got it from. I took half a journal book full of notes at the sales and marketing week that I went to in January. And I came back and I thought, how am I going to work out what to use out of this? Now, I just photographed all of them quite randomly, actually, as an experiment, threw them into Gemini, and it gave me all my notes and action plans. It's like 2 minutes later, I had it. It was amazing. So it gives you a different way to feel free to take more notes at meetings, knowing that you can actually use them now by using this process. Looking forward to doing it, Shazar. Surprised if I can read my own writing. I hope so. Thanks. Okay, everybody, we are out of time. Thank you for being here today. It's wonderful to see you all. We've got a couple of exciting guests. If there's anything you want on these calls, please let me know. I'm just filling the calls for the rest of the year at the moment. If you think you've got something of value to really add to one of these calls, also let me know. So there may be some opportunities to do that. I'm looking at the moment for about 6 more people for the rest of the year. So have a nice day, and you know where to find us if you need us. And go ahead and do this and enjoy it. See you later. Bye.